Tuesdays is known as $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, where you can get the hottest handicappers bet, or daily package for only $2.
Gentlemen, ladies, boys, and girls, a very happy, what the hell is today? Tuesday, I believe. Yes, it is. It's Tuesday. Why do I know that? Because we got some playoff basketball to talk about here. Not very far down the road from where I am right now. We'll have a pretty damn good series here as the Miami Heat will be hosting the Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. And here to bring it all down for you guys, three of the best, you know them. Ski Prophet in the house, live on location. You got Tony Mejia in the house as well. Oh, Tony Finn's here. So, guys, gentlemen, very happy Tuesday to you. Always a pleasure to see you, Finn. You're kind of like a bad rash. We just can't get rid of you whether we wanted to or not. But Ski, it's good to see you, man. Have you gotten all your Steph Curry gear ready to go? Because I know you burned all the Lakers stuff, and it's strictly Golden State and Steph Curry for you, my man. So what's going on?
Well, yeah, you know Steph's my boy. I'm always going to be prepared as far as that's concerned. But things have been going well for me. Last couple series have been good. Playoffs picking it up after a poor start. So I got, I think like 8 WNBA plays tonight, one big one in the NBA 5% play. So let's cash them.
Let's do it, Ski. Love it. And Tony Mejia in the house as well. And T, I know a lot going on for you here, my man. A lot of, listen, we got still got NHL going on, the NBA, Major League Baseball, 18 games here today, soccer. You got a little something for everybody, man. What's going on at WagerTalk?
WagerTalk, we've got a lot of stuff on this Game 1 and pre-series, Eastern Conference Finals, futures, things to play with, and a couple MLB things. Looking to continue a nice run I've been on in MLB with 4% money line plays. And ironically, one of my play for yesterday was rained out, and I downgraded it today because it's part of a doubleheader, and the Cardinals are losing. So maybe a little luck there. Although I think the Cardinals might have won yesterday with their down 3-zip. Now, USFL for later in the week, and possibly a little soccer. We shall see. But all is going well. Hit a couple 5% plays over the weekend in the NBA to get back on track there. So we're looking forward to both of these conference finals getting underway.
Boom. Love it. Yeah, it's going to be a hell of a week here, Tony, Finn. I mean, shoot, game tonight, game tomorrow, and then think about it. Another couple of weeks, we'll be crowning a champion here. And man, it seems like yesterday we opened up the season making fun of you, and then here we are again now, getting ready to crown Eastern and Western Conference champs. But nobody's cashed more tickets than you, my man. So talk to us on what you got here at WagerTalk.com tonight.
I have my NBA report. I did not release it after yesterday's show only because of some information, some intel. But it is up. It's ready. The information for at least my intel and my plays for tonight's Eastern Conference ECF matchup between the Heat and the Celtics, and tomorrow's game is yet to be determined. I'm still trying to gather some information, hoping you guys will show me the way today.
Ooh, love it. You keep sprinkling that with you. We will. Big shout out to our peeps here in the chat room hanging with us here today. Steven's in the house. Giovanni, Sean, Steven, let's get paid. That sounds like a T-shirt, my man. We are going to have to get that all squared away here. Revenant WR in the house, ready to go here, guys. And so are we. So let us dive in to that Miami Heat Boston Celtics game. Game one here tonight. 8:30 Eastern time will be the tip-off, guys. Boston opens up as a 2.5-point dog. Well, I'm seeing twos pretty much across the board, as little as 1.5 over the last 24 hours. The total 206.5, that's come down. 203.5s, 204s in some spots. So, Ski, kick it off for us here, my man. The Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics. How you approaching this matchup?
Yeah, it's tough. I have a 5% play on the side, so I'll try to talk about the total more for this segment. And the first thing I think about is both of these are two top defensive teams, and I can't get Jimmy's quote out of my mind. Like, with the Heat game, what they want to do coming into the series and each and every game, he talks about how much he feels like they're a good team when they don't care about scoring and when they just focus on defense. So he feels like that's the key to victory for Miami. And on the Boston side, they've been the best defense in the league, in my opinion. So I know it's a low total tonight at 2:00. It opened 206, it's down to 204. But I can see even Miami coming out here a little rusty to start this game. Both defenses showing up, and it'd be a lower scoring game. So I would be looking at the under. With Kyle Lowry out, I might look towards Jimmy Butler rebounds and assists. I think he'll have a lot of duties on those categories. And series, if you like the Heat, I think this is a pretty competitive series back and forth. Heat plus 1.5 games is pretty interesting. Or you could bet both teams. You could bet Heat to win in 7, Boston to win in 7. Heat, you get plus 450. Boston, you get plus 500. And as long as it makes it to 7 games, you come out with profit. So I think it's a competitive series, and I also think it's an under series.
You liking the under? You liking the Heat in this particular spot? And Tony Mejia, it's interesting. He did mention, of course, I believe, 4 days now? The Miami Heat have been off. Big 7-game series there for Boston and Milwaukee. And it's not like those 4 days obviously helped the Heat because, like he said, there's no Lowry. Everybody's still on the questionable list. So what do we get tonight here in a game one with these two teams who are meeting, by the way, for the second time in 3 years in the Eastern Conference Finals?
Yeah, I think we get to see how resilient these Celtics are, because they have proven to me that they do have the championship medal. And their victory over the Bucks on Sunday, a 5% play for me when I looked at the number, because I had made it shorter, and I'm like, oh well, maybe we'll get a blowout. And fortunately, we did, because it was a stress-free fourth quarter, and you usually don't get those on max plays. But 55 three-pointers attempted on Sunday for the Celtics. Obviously, Grant Williams overshadowing everybody with his super X-factor role with 7 threes. And now you get to turn the page, and you understand that the Celtics lost to the Heat in the bubble, and have lost 3 playoff series against Miami, going on 4. And if it goes on 4, it would be the first time somebody's won 4 straight series over the Celtics, I believe, ever. So, something that the Lakers couldn't even do, or any of the older Sixers and Knicks squads. So that'll be interesting. I'm looking at Max Strus as an X factor, considering how well he played against Philadelphia. And I asked myself, well, how well did Max Strus play against Boston in the regular season? 20.5 points per game, 5 rebounds, shot 50% from 3, playing in 2 of the 3 games. The most recent contest was in March and won by Miami. Boston did win the regular season series and held Miami to 92 points per game. So I agree with Ski in that this looks to me like a defensive series, a 3-and-D series, a series that Eric Spoelstra referred to as a throwback. I think that's code for we might get some ugly Miami, New York Knicks style games. That's when Pat Riley was going back and forth on that. So those 88-87 down the road. And then I have an X factor slash play that I will share for everybody as to a client play for a player prop regarding Tyler Hero. So I'll save that for my best bets.
All right, I love it here. And by the way, Tony, Finn, we talked about this series yesterday, and I know you were pretty adamant about maybe the wrong team here is favored. Not in this game, but certainly in the series that you're thinking Miami should absolutely be the favorite to win this series. Well, they got to win the first one here tonight. I think that would go a long way. But how do you think they win if they win here tonight, Tony?
Well, I would be adamant that I think game one's pretty important, more so than the Heat being the Heat's the veteran team here. They're the team that while both these teams were they played each other 2 years ago in the same situation. If you remember back to that game, if you remember back to that series, for instance, it was a kind of a Kemba. It was Kemba was playing, and their backcourt shooting was a combination of Kemba and long story short is we had Tatum, we had the same players we have tonight. What Boston did to Miami in that series was interesting. It wasn't good enough. It didn't get them a series win. Although this team's better than that team 2 years ago. And this Miami team's a little less than, to be honest with you, and different. But without Kyle Lowry, that's the difference in this game for me. I mean, Ski mentioned it. With Lowry's absence in the game, it's a factor. It's a factor. And the fact is that with it, with Kyle Lowry, guys, with him on the floor, the Heat are 100 per 100 possessions in half-court settings. Without them, they're 90, a little less than 91. In half-court settings. They're better in transition, not as good in half-court. And they score most of their points off transition, guys, most off transition. So more exclusively, Boston doesn't give up transition points. They only turn the ball over 14% of the time. So that said, this is all about executing, and it's going to be a great series. I'm excited about it, but the better defensive team is Boston in this team. And Miami gives up three-point shots. If you look at what they did against Milwaukee, Boston, they shot a lot more three-point shots than they did during the regular season per game. So I can't wait. I don't know about you guys, but it's going to be fun.
Yeah, Spoelstra's done a great job of building this team, coaching this team to run them out of the middle there, Tony Mejia, push them out to the perimeter, don't give up anything in the paint, make life difficult here, but we don't know if Marcus Smart is going, at least not yet. Derek White looks like he would be the person that would jump in his spot here. And I don't know, it looks like they're healthy for the most part here. If Smart is to go, then it looks like Robert Williams has no more limitations. So the Celtics, for the first time in what feels like for a long time, might have everybody available and healthy to them here tonight, Mejia.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do with Smart. I think they'll take that up close to tip simply because it is a midfoot sprain that he aggravated on Sunday. And if they give him a couple of more days, maybe he'll be more of a factor on the defensive end where he really needs to be the guy that makes everybody work on the perimeter, gets in Jimmy Butler's head and makes him take bad shots and get out of rhythm, which is the one Achilles heel that Jimmy has, that he has been able to completely overcome in this postseason where he's been arguably the best player going forward. And if you want to make an argument against that, it's probably Jason Tatum. And so I think Miami's key will be to make sure Tatum sees bodies left and right. And they fortunately have Bam Adebayo who can switch pick and rolls and make life difficult for them. So you alluded to it on your question. They want to make everything come out from the paint. And I think that that's going to be the key there. Switch guys like Struz and Jimmy and whoever else is, PJ Tucker will probably get that initial assignment. And if the screener comes, make sure that Bam Adebayo is there to make Jason Tatum a passer. From that standpoint, Jason Tatum assists might be something that's interesting. I'm not as worried as Finn about Kyle Lowry. Heat are 6-0 without him in the playoffs. They've gotten an opportunity to play with Gabe Vincent for weeks now. And I think, again, another key with getting over that Lowry hump is Victor Oladipo is now a part of the equation and being productive. And Tyler Hero will need to really pick up his game because over the last two rounds, he hasn't been the guy that convincingly won the sixth man. And again, I'll allude to that a little later in the show. But yeah, these two teams deservedly got to this point. Ironically, the top 4 defenses, both scoring and in 3-point field goal percentage, are in the Final Four. So it's something that we've talked about, the game changing as much as it has, where scores are way up and 3-pointers rule the day. Well, defense still wins championships, and we're seeing that here with Miami, Boston, and then Dallas, Golden State.
Both of these teams, by the way, guys, I believe, top 3 in the postseason for defensive efficiency. Interesting enough here, guys, our poll question is up. Those of you joining us here on YouTube right now, and we're asking the question, which ties into the struggles of Jason Tatum against this Miami Heat team this season. He's actually hasn't been great against the Heat in his career right now. So 21 games against the Heat. He has scored 28 or more points just 5 times in those games. So the question we have is, which one of the players between the Heat and the Celtics is going to lead this series in scoring when it's all said and done? Is it Tatum? Is it Jimmy Buckets? Is it Bam? Is it Jaylen Brown? Or is it dare I say, Al Horford here, Skeet? Who do you think, when it's all said and done, is going to be the leading scorer here for this series between these two teams?
Well, if you like, I think it's more simple. I mean, you already solved the problem. I mean, the question. Jason Tatum hasn't had success versus the Heat. I think it was Jaylen Brown. I don't have numbers, but just off memory, I was already thinking that he's the one who's been doing the scoring. So I would pick him if you like Boston. And on the Miami side, I mean, obviously Jimmy Butler's been carrying the load, so I'd have to roll with him on the other side.
All right, guys, make sure you drop in your vote there, guys. Those of you hanging out with us in the chat room, we'll let you know exactly, because as I've said it once, I've said it a million times. The single smartest group of individuals hanging out with us all day long right here at the NBA Tip-Off Show. So throw those votes in there. Curious to see which one of those guys you think will be the leading scorer in this series. Doesn't necessarily mean going to come from the winning side, but certainly could be the leading scorer when it's all said and done. All right, let's check out another game here tomorrow, in fact, when we've got the Dallas Mavericks taking on Steph Curry and Ski's boys. Can't wait to hear Ski break this one down. Open it up at 5. I'm still seeing 5. The total was opened at 214 and a half, 215 some spots. And for the most part, though, not a lot of crazy movement either way yet in this one. Ski, I don't need to tell you, our boy Jay Money showed up here yesterday. We got called out for being 2 goddamn homers here on the show, me back in the Heat and him back in Dallas. So I know you ain't back in Dallas, but tell me, what are we going to get in this series in Game 1 tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm already happy right now, honestly, because I have Golden State to win the West at plus 300, so I'm happy with that ticket. And honestly, in the last series, I have Heat plus 400, Celtics plus 320, so I've done my job in these series bets. But for this first game alone, you got Warriors, they got the rest advantage. Luka and the Mavs just going through a 7-game series. You know how much I love rest advantage all year long. And playoff home favorites with that rest advantage, 75% winners. So Golden State is not a pick 'em. They're -5. You already know what we're going to do. we get the -5 and the money line. You put them together, it creates a -162 line. At that number, the implied probability is 61.8%. And you still have an edge. I just told you they win 75% of the time. And pretty much, I mean, Golden State has played teams with superstars like this plenty of times in the playoffs. They played, obviously, LeBron James. They played Harden, who plays more similar maybe to how Luka is as far as, like, isolation and just being surrounded by shooters. And they've seen a lot of different defenses thrown at them. So they were the second best defense in the league all year long. I'm pretty sure, Kurt said we know how to play Luka, and I'm thinking at some point we're going to see them play his own, whether it's, boxing one, somebody staying on Luka, or maybe if they have Luka and Denver, you see that triangle and 2 that the Raptors used against the Warriors. I just know there's a lot of ways for the Warriors to defend this Mavs team. And that defense, I give Kid a lot of credit for how he, did in the last series, making his adjustments. But you can't defend this Warriors team the same way. The depth lineup, everybody is a threat. It's not going to work for you to trap up top and force the other players to score because they all can. So give me Golden State. They're not going to lose one game at the house. And the way I bet it, if they cover, I win both bets. If they just win the game, I don't lose anything. So I'm happy with that bet.
Oh, the ski line. Taking the points and taking it on the money line. I love it, Ski. Tony Mejia, what do you think here about this? A lot of role players stepped up there for Dallas against that Phoenix. Some say Phoenix Suns were a much better defensive team than the Golden State Warriors, and they had so much success against them that maybe that'll equate to even more success in this series. Well, what do you think happens in Game 1 here?
I think Steve Kerr has a great game plan in place for what he wants to do against Dallas. But Luka Doncic scored 126 points against the Warriors this season. That's the most against any team. Averaged 31.5. 10 of 22 when isolated against Andrew Wiggins, who will probably be the primary defender. 10 of 22 when switched out against Kevon Looney. 6 for 6 against Steph Curry, so Steph had no chance at him. And 6 for 6 against Otto Porter Jr., who is now probable for tomorrow's game, which is fantastic news if you're on the Warriors side. So the Mavs shot really well against Golden State this season. They went 3-1, and they only allowed 105 points per game. So I think Dallas comes into this game confident as well. And I was on that. My other 5% from the weekend was the Warriors to put away the Grizzlies. And that game gave me a heart attack through 3.5 quarters because of how poorly Golden State took care of the ball and the turnovers in that series. They averaged 18 turnovers a game against the Grizzlies. Now, Dallas doesn't play to turn you over, but it does concern me that Golden State is just throwing the ball around the court the way they are, really playing carelessly. So that'll be something to watch. It also concerns me that Steph Curry shot just 24 for 62 over the last 3 games, including 13 to 39 for 3. That's just 33%. He's missing more free throws than he normally does throughout this postseason. So, while watching that game and saying, damn, we're going to lose, I'm thinking maybe it's his legs. Maybe he doesn't have his legs under him. So it certainly was an advantage that they got some rest and got out of that series the way they did. For the series, he was just 23 of 70 from 3. And 50 of 121 from the field, with just one game where he shot 50% or better. So I think they got to get Steph Curry right. They got to get Jordan Poole more consistent. But from the Mavericks standpoint, and this is the one thing that I'm going to take a huge wait and see approach on how this series is going to break down from a total standpoint, because I made game 1 211.5. I see it's 214, so it's right there. I want to see how Jason Kidd approaches facing that death lineup, because if you want to come at me with Andrew Wiggins at the 4 and Draymond at the 5 and the splash triplets now, that allows me to play Jalen Brunson with Doncic and Spencer Dinwiddie and Finney Smith and then Maxi Kleber. And if that's the way you want to throw down, let's go, because I think Kidd really favors those 5 people as the ones that are going to get it done for him. So it's going to be a great Western Conference Finals. I'm really excited to see how that unfolds. And I would say this, and I don't know how you guys would agree or disagree. I think that whoever gets out of the West is a decided underdog against the Eastern Conference champ.
Yeah, it's interesting. Shout out to Ayotti in our chat room here, because Tony Finney says, we all know Draymond getting tossed in one of these games. We all know it. He's getting tossed at some point. It's probably inevitably. I can't argue. Says Wiggins is too inconsistent. How many games do you think Dallas can pull out of this 7-game series? Can they take it to 7? Do they have to win game 1 in order to be able to make this close? What do you think we get, Finn?
I think you're going to get this series. I think you're going to get much of the same that you got from the Memphis series. And I'm not saying that Doncic is Morant or Morant is Doncic. I'm saying that, in truth, you're going to get a little more from the Warriors. Is it going to be enough? Is it going to be enough to Can they outscore Doncic as a whole? And are they going to be able to defend Doncic? Is, as Tony put him, Wiggins is going to be the primary. I think when it comes to crunch time, though, I don't care how old Green is. I don't care how slow Green is. Green is Green, and Green is money in crunch time. And he's the guy. If I want to put some money on Doncic for one shot, it's Green. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Green be the agitator. You said he's going to get thrown out, right, Joe?
Yep.
I wouldn't be one surprised if it's something to do with Doncic and rustling those feathers. Especially if he starts smiling with that Chester grin in San Fran at Oracle Arena. It's going to be fun, a lot of fun. But I think it's Curry. I think Curry has a couple 40-point games. And I think their experience of this Warriors team is enough for them to win this series and beat Dallas. And unlike Tony, I don't think that the East I don't think the West is a decisive underdog. They're done. Whoever wins the East, whoever wins the East wins the championship. Not one question that they're better defensively and as good, maybe better offensively. Huh? I do agree with you, but you said decide. I say it's a done deal already. So just go ahead and crown.
They will close the series.
Well, they'll play. It depends on what you consider play. That's subjective. It's subjective. Depends on your perspective.
Well, here. All right, there we go. Fairy dust for Poole from Sean in the chat room there, all taken care of, man. We are drop it, Finn. Drop it on them. Let's go here. All right, guys. So we've got a couple of games here, a lot of different ways to go over it. Series, maybe a half. There was some talk in here about first half unders might be a way to look here early on. We talked about zigzags yesterday, Ski, where winners of game one, we might be forced to be looking the other ways in game two in these two series. But I will say this, Ski, are you a fan of, if you like Boston in the series, are you holding off betting them in game two? And if you like Miami, are you betting them now before game one? What's your approach as far as the series goes here early on?
Yeah, absolutely. If you like Miami, you play the rest advantage and you play them tonight and you play the series, because when you're betting the series, you're expecting them to win that game. And if you like the Celtics and you still feel that same way, you don't like the situation they're in, then you wait and you get in after this game when you think they're actually going to win. So, great logic.
Yep, pretty simple. You agree, Tony Mejia? Is that the kind of approach? Like, hold off if you got the Celtics winning this series, maybe hold off with game one, or are you backing them in game one and take them on the series anyway?
No, yeah, I'd hold off. That's there's nothing flawed about that. I heard Ski say it in his first segment. I'll give it out. Part of my package today for clients. I love that Miami Heat plus 1.5 games. I think they either win the series or it goes 7. I mean, it just is what it is. And you're getting only like minus 125. I saw it at DraftKings. So to me, this is going to be a heavyweight bout. 7 games is going to be physical. And you're going to give me 1.5 games with the number 1 seed and home court advantage going in. Go ahead.
I agree. And Tony, Finn, you're looking early on in this series. You're looking zigzag here. If Miami wins tonight, are we looking Boston in game 2 as well, and vice versa? It's been very profitable in the second round, certainly heading into the conference finals now.
I put no emphasis on zigzag at all, none whatsoever. There's too many factors, too many variables to come into play. You can't just zigzag. You have to play matchups, and if Tatum is if the Celtics lose tonight and Tatum's out for game 2 for some reason, are you zigzagging? Because I sure as hell aren't. I'm not. Here's the situation right now. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yesterday we talked about this, Joe. We brought it up, and Jay Money and myself and Lang that were on the show yesterday. We talked about waiting. But overnight and over the last couple of days, there's been some shift here. What do you guys have right now? I'm showing NBA title futures. Okay, Boston plus 183. The Heat, plus 439. Golden State, plus 144. Mavericks, plus 523, which I find strange and a little bit off kilter and off center completely. But what do you have for? What's the consensus for this series between Miami and Boston? What's the money line? What's the money line right now?
Are you talking the NBA Finals consensus, or are you talking about
well, that was a consensus for the title. Those four I gave you, those were penny numbers. Okay, now what's the numbers just for that you guys see are most consensus?
170, yeah, 170 right now for Boston, 155 for Miami.
Okay, so then this isn't that unusual. But my point is this: if Boston wins tonight, I mean, if you like Boston to win the series, then you probably like Boston to win tonight. I mean, that would be. I look at it that way, and you would want to be on Boston at that price they're at right now, because if Boston wins game one, that future price isn't going up. Now, it's the same with Miami. Miami, if you think Miami's going to lose, but you still like Miami in the series, then you're going to wait.
Good point.
Then you're going to wait.
Yep. Good point. Yeah. So a lot on the line here for this game one here tonight between Miami and Boston. And I can say that there's a lot of Miami love going on with the fine folks, the very smart fine folks in the chat hanging out with us here today. There is some Boston love as well. So kind of split down the middle here in many aspects. But let's see what the best bets are from these guys here today. And Ski, either game, my man, don't make a damn bit of difference. Give us a play you're looking at that you'd chime in with a best bet here for the next couple.
Yeah, there was a couple things I didn't like. Golden State, yeah, they've been playing bad all in the play. They haven't really played a good game yet, and yet they're in the Western Conference Finals. You think that's just going to continue to last? I think you saw Draymond hurt, Steph hurt down the stretch. I think they're just now starting to feel comfortable and getting their legs under them. So I wouldn't put too much into that. And I think another point made by Tony Mejia, Dallas can't take advantage of Golden State's size. Golden State, they want to play small ball. If another team wants to play small ball, hey, we'll see who got the best small ball team. Mm-hmm. I think it's clearly Golden State. So in all those games, Dallas beat Golden State during the regular season. They don't matter. The lineups, Clay and Dre, they didn't play in none of them. Yep. Throw them out the window. You take Golden State with the rest advantage at the house. They lost 10 games at home all year long. They are not losing at home in the series. They haven't lost in the playoffs yet. They're not doing it tonight or tomorrow, whenever it is. Golden State, get paid.
Boom! Love it. He's going GS guys, get it done against the Dallas Mavs. Can you tell Ski leading? Well, Jesus, good God, Robert, like 20 days late there. Holy shit. Tony Mejia, like, what the fuck? What was that? That's like, damn. Tony Mejia, my man, talk to us. You mentioned a client play here tonight. Talk to us about what you're looking at.
All right, well, I'll hand that out. It's regarding Tyler here, but I just wanted to riff a little bit about the Eastern Conference Finals MVP odds. And now we have Conference Finals MVPs to bet on as well, and they're going to give them fancy trophies with Magic Johnson and Larry Bird's names on it. Jason Tatum is the Eastern Conference Final MVP favorite at DraftKings -120. Jimmy Butler, if you like the Heat, +200, not bad. And then Bam Adebayo, who had a really, inconsistent series against Philadelphia. When Joel Embiid got back, he really struggled to get his footing. He's at +1,200. I think he'll be a big factor here. And Tyler Hero is +4,000. Tyler Hero in these playoffs, 13.8 points a game, 42% from the field, shooting 27% from three. Those aren't the numbers that got him the sixth man of the year. I expect him to have a big game tonight. I expect a focal point of what Eric Spoelstra wants to do once he comes in the game is to get his confidence up. So I really like over 17.5 points and assists tonight on a Tyler Hero player prop.
All right. Look at that. Boom. Love it. Tyler Hero showing up and showing out at home here tonight for Tony Mejia. And Tony, Finn, come on, man. 60 seconds. I feel like you got a prop somewhere there that you're going to bestow upon us. What do you got, man?
I do have a prop, and the prop entails, this is kind of a throwback to the 2020 series. And I know Brad Stevens isn't the head coach of Boston. I know Danny Ainge now likes to attend Utah Jazz games. in Salt Lake City. But the prop is Bam under his, I think it's 27. What did I put down?
27
and a half. 27 under 27 and a half points, rebounds, and assists. You're going to see a lot of what Brad Stevens did this to Bam Adebayo. They're going to move him outside the paint, move him outside, and then they're going to pick on specific Miami players in certain matchups, and they're going to basically hunt them. That's what we're going to see. Bam's not going to get his 27 and a half total. The 3, and if you like a low-scoring game, especially under 27.5 for Bam in tonight's game 1.
Bam! Love it. Get her done for Bam. Not tonight for Bam, though. Although Tyler Hero, though. We'd like Tyler Hero and Tony Mejia to get it done here tonight. And let's check out one more time. We'll go around the horn, recap those best bets with Ski saying, you want to get paid? Warriors, -5, Warriors money line. That is known as the Ski profit line. Get them both, guys. Get it while you can for tomorrow. While Tony Mejia, again, Tyler Hero, over 17.5 points and assists. He going to be busy tonight, and certainly maybe a little home cooking for Tyler Hero tonight, while Tony Finn says, Bam, yep, they're coming after you here under the 27.5 PRA in this one. And you guys, if you're just joining us, Ski told you 5% best bet up and available tonight over at WagerTalk.com. Tony Mejia also locked and loaded, as is Tony Finn, ready to go. Plenty of MLB tonight, guys. Of course, we've got a whole lot of NBA basketball still to come here. It's going to be a busy week. NHL playoffs tonight as well. It's a busy South Florida next couple of weeks, too, with the Florida Panthers, Tampa Bay Lightning, Miami Heat, and they're all playing on the same damn nights in the same town. So that should be an awful lot of fun here, guys. Visit them at WagerTalk, figure out who it is they are on, guys, and let's cash some damn tickets and come back and join us again tomorrow. Of course, we'll redo this all over again. We'll take a closer look at Dallas and Golden State tomorrow, see if there's any line movement. And then, of course, we'll recap what we witnessed here tonight, see if there is any edges to be had for a game 2. And, of course, guys, make sure you check out that on your way out. Please hit that subscribe and that like button. And if you haven't done so already, check out the poll question. We want to know who is going to be the leading scorer in this series when it is all said and done. Tatum has struggled against the Miami Heat in his career. Is it going to be Jaylen Brown, or is it going to be Jimmy Butler by far? Is it going to be Bam? Who is it that's going to be the leading scorer here when it is all said and done in this series, especially a series where it looks like everybody wants to go under, at least in tonight's game, too, with that total continuing to drop. Should be a good one, guys. On behalf of Ski, Tony Mejia, and Tony Finn, make sure you head over there at WagerTalk.com, hit that little bell in the upper right-hand corner, and then come back and join us again tomorrow. We appreciate the time, guys. Best of luck with your plays tonight. We'll meet again. Good luck.
Stop. Don't buy that Picks package or All Access. Wait, what? Yep. Don't click Add to Cart until you check out our new deals page at both WagerTalk and Sports Memo, where you can find all the latest offers, promotions, and coupons available all in one place. These deals are updated daily and can be found by clicking Deals in the nav at WagerTalk or Sports Memo, going to wt.buzz/deals, or scanning the QR code on your screen.